measurement of peak value of AC voltages on that digital peak voltmeters and peak voltmeter with potential divider. Okay, so we have to discuss these two concepts. First one, digital peak voltmeter and peak voltmeter with potential divider. I think you already studied potential divider, resistant potential divider and capacitance potential divider. Same concept. Okay, here also. But here, so you have to measure by using digital peak voltmeter and peak voltmeter with potential divider. It's clear. So learning objectives, principle and working of digital peak voltmeter. First, we have to discuss first principle and working of digital peak voltmeter. Second one, circuit operation of peak voltmeter with potential divider. Okay, and then some different type of errors, sources of errors in potential divider arrangement. Okay, first principle and working of digital peak voltmeter, and second one, circuit operation of digital peak voltmeter with potential divider and different type of errors, sources of errors in potential divider arrangement. Clear. So this is the circuit diagram of the digital peak voltmeter. All of you draw this circuit diagram. Circuit diagram of digital peak voltmeter. So here, high voltage terminal. This is called high voltage terminal or high voltage transmission line. Okay, is connected to the capacitor one side. Okay, capacitor one side is connected to the this called high voltage terminal, and high voltage terminal is also connected to the transformer. Okay, this is called one transformer. So one side is connected high voltage terminal and also is connected to the capacitor. And this capacitor connected through the diode through a resistor like this manner in the reverse biased manner. The diode D2 is a conduct during reverse biased during negative peak of cycle. The diode D2 is conducts. It's clear. Diode D2 is conducts during negative peak of cycle, and diode D1 is connected during positive of cycle. Okay. And so this is called voltage to frequency converter, and it's called gate circuit and counter. Counter will count the number of clock pulses. Okay. Counter counts the number of clock pulses. That is negative or positive, whatever may be. So from gate circuit, you will get one signals. Based on that, it will be count the clock pulses. Okay. Gate circuit will generate the clock pulses. Based on that, the counter will count the number of clock pulses. Okay. High voltage terminal is connected to the capacitor through a diode D2. Okay, is connected to the resistor R. Okay. So here for during negative half cycle, the diode D2 is conducts and discharging through the resistor R. Okay, discharging through that current discharging through the, so in this direction. So diode 1 is reverse biased and diode is forward biased, and then capacitor is trying to discharge in this manner. Okay, in that case, the voltage, whatever the voltage appear across the resistor, that is converted into frequency by using voltage to frequency converter. By using this, it is converted voltage to frequency converter. Okay, it's converting the voltage to, so here high voltage terminal capacitor, and then it's trying to discharge it through the resistor. In that case, so the here some amount of voltage appear. Based on that, it is converting voltage to frequency. Okay, this is called a voltage to frequency converter, and is converting voltage to frequency and is given to the gate circuit. It's clear. The voltage to frequency converter, the signals, that is called frequency signals, is given to the gate circuit. The gate circuits is compare the two signals. So from supply side signal, okay, and this signal. Okay, this is called, the frequency is called FM, and this frequency is called F. So based on FM by F ratio, so the clock pulses are generated. Okay, during negative half cycle, and then is given to the counter, and counter will be counts the number of peaks. So like that, the digital peak voltmeter counts the peak voltages. Okay. First, high voltage terminal to the connected to the capacitor. Okay, the capacitor once fully charged, the high voltage terminal, and then this diode it is reverse biased and it conduct and trying to discharge through the resistor. Understood? So once is discharging through the resistor, it is converted into voltage to frequency converter. That is called frequency is called FM, and supply frequency is called FM. Then F ratio based on FM by F ratio. The gate circuits generate the signals, and then based on that, the counter counts the number of clock pulses. Okay, based on that, uh, okay, circuit operation of digital peak voltmeter. The problem of multiple peaks in a voltage waveform produces error. Okay, this is the one of the disadvantages of digital peak voltmeter. It's clear. The problem of multiple peaks in voltage waveform produces error. So this is one of the disadvantages of the digital peak voltmeter. It's clear. A digital peak voltmeter does not rely on purely the rectified charging current. An analog voltage is derived from charging current and is converted into a proportional medium frequency FM. Am I right? So yeah, the proportional frequency is generated by using voltage to frequency converter, that is called FM. Okay. Analog voltage derived from charging current is converted into a proportional medium frequency FM. It's clear. Digital peak meter voltmeter does not rely on purely the rectified charging current. Analog voltage is derived from the charging current is converted into a proportional medium frequency. Charging current is converted into a, that's called rectified current through the diode D2 is converted into a frequency that is called FM, proportional medium frequency, that is called FM. The ratio of frequency FM by FM is measured by the gate circuit is controlled by the AC. Understood? The ratio of frequency FM by F is measured by the gate circuit is controlled by the AC. Okay. Power frequency and counter is enabled for an adjustable period. Delta D is equal to P by F, where P represents constant of the instrument. It's clear? The ratio of frequency FM by F is measured by the gate circuit and is controlled by the AC power frequency, and counter is enabled for an adjustable period. Delta D is equal to P by F, where P is called represents constant of the instrument. During this period, the number of pulses are counted as N. Then N is equal to Fm into delta T. Okay. Then N is equal to number of pulses are called N. Then N is equal to Fm into delta T. So delta T is nothing but Fm by F. Ratio is called delta T. P into Fm by F. So that can be equation can be modified into 2P CVM A into R. So R is called resistance. A is called voltage to frequency conversion factor, that is called Fm by R into M. By substituting A is Fm by R into M, here we will get same equation, P into Fm by M. Okay, by substituting A is equal to the equation is modified. So like this. This equation can be modified into 2P CVM A into R. Okay. So this is the fourth point, and then so peak voltmeter with potential divider. So this is called generalized digital peak voltmeter. It's clear. So this is called peak voltmeter with potential divider. Peak voltmeter with a potential divider. This is modified by Hafley and Rabus. These are the two different type of scientists. This some problems. So they're in digital peak. That problems can be overcome by using this peak voltmeter with potential divider and the modified by Hafley and Rabus. Okay. And this circuit. So here high voltage terminal is connected to the capacitor C1. The capacitor C1 is the range of the capacitor C1 is very high. Okay, so the capacitor C1 is manufactured by gas step. Okay, its handling voltage is very high. Okay, voltage handling capability of the capacitor C1 is very high compared to C2. C2 is manufactured by the paper, small dielectric material that is called mica paper. C1 is by using gas type dielectric material. So this can be handled the very high voltages. C2 is very less voltage, that is maybe paper or mica. Okay. During positive of cycle, the diode diver is forward biased. Okay. And that case, so capacitor C2, first when we are giving the power supply, the high voltage terminal is connected here. And that case, capacitor C1 charges. Okay, and capacitor C2 also charges like this manner. Okay. Once capacitor C2 is fully charged, so the capacitor C2 is once capacitor C2 is fully charged, so what happened? It is trying to discharge through the diode in like this manner. It's trying to discharge in this manner. C2 is trying to discharge through the diode D2. D. So it is diode is forward biased. So capacitor C2 discharges. So like this. So once this is CS is called charging capacitor. These two are is in parallel. Okay, C2 and CS are parallel once diode is in forward biased. Okay, if the diode is forward biased, capacitor C2 and CS are forward biased. Diode is forward biased, and that these two are in parallel. So in that case, capacitor CS also charges to the peak value of C2. So how much of voltage charged by the C2? Same voltage charged by the capacitor CS. So that's why this is called charging resistor. Once capacitor is fully charged, once capacitor CS is fully charged, it's not discharging through the diode. So because of it is reverse biased. Okay, it is always trying to discharge through. So discharging resistor, that is called RD. So the discharging resistor RD is connected to the parallel to the electrostatic voltmeter. Okay, discharging resistor RD is connected to the parallel to the electrostatic voltmeter. No? That's why it's measure the peak voltages. Okay, if the peak voltage appear across the capacitor C2, then capacitor C2 is trying to discharge, okay, through capacitor diode D, and then capacitor CS charges to the peak value, and then it's trying to discharge through resistor, diode resistor, and then by using electrostatic voltmeter, we have to measure that voltage is nothing but peak voltages. Okay. So this is the circuit operation, and this is also one of the equalizing circuit. Okay. It will be capacitor is discharging through the diode this like this manner, and the charging capacitor will charges to very maximum voltage, that is called VM, and then is trying to discharge the RD only is not discharging through the reverse bias. So the capacitor is not discharging through the diode in this manner. So because of diode D is a reverse bias, that's why capacitor CS is trying to discharge only in this direction. So then electrostatic voltmeters measure the maximum voltage, that is called peak voltage. Okay. So one of the resistor is connected like this means. So Can easily understand. So by reading this, the peak reading the peak reading capacitance voltmeter, circuit can be subdivided into two main sections. The peak reading capacitance voltmeter circuit can be subdivided into two main sections, namely measuring circuit and equalizing circuit. Measuring circuit and equalizing circuit. Okay. Second one, the capacitance CS is in the measuring circuit. The capacitance CS in the measuring circuit gets charged to the peak value of voltage across the capacitor CS, C2. Okay, the capacitance CS is measuring circuit is get charged to peak value of voltage across the capacitor C2. Capacitor C2 and CS are in parallel. So once this diode is forward biased, so this C2 and CS are fully charged. Okay, this voltage can be measured by high impedance voltmeter or electrostatic voltmeter, that is called ESV. Electrostatic voltmeter. This voltage can be measured by using electrostatic voltmeter. I that is called a high impedance voltmeter. Due to high impedance voltmeter, the capacitor will hold the charge for duration for more than 1 second. Due to high impedance voltmeter, the capacitor will hold the charge for duration of more than 1 second. Try to understand this. Because of high impedance voltmeter, the capacitor will hold the charge for duration more than 1 second. As supply voltage reduces away from peak, the diode D will reverse biased. Okay, the supply voltage decreases away from the peak voltage. This diode will become reverse biased. Okay, so because of the high impedance voltmeter, capacitor will hold the charge for duration more than 1 second. And that condition, okay, so the voltage across this here is more compared to here. That's why the diode will become reverse biased. Okay, D will be reverse biased. Understood? But due to this isolation of capacitor CS, it is no longer follows the supply voltage across the capacitor C2. That is the problem. It is no longer follows the supply voltage across the capacitor C2 and CS. So what happened here? C2 and CSR will become isolated. So due to this isolation of capacitor CS, it is no longer follows the supply voltage across the capacitor C2. Hence, discharge resistor RD is connected to overcome this problem such that RD into CS, that is called time constant, is approximately equal to 1 second. Okay, approximately equal to 1 second. So why you are using discharging resistor means, so why we have to maintain the discharging time is 1 seconds, because of due to high impedance voltmeter, the capacitor will hold the charge for duration more than 1 second. Okay, because of that, the capacitor, the diode will become reverse biased. Their voltage is less than that here voltage. Okay, here voltage is more than here voltage is more compared to here. That's why the diode will become reverse biased. The total circuit, measuring circuit, will be isolated. So to avoid that, okay, so to reduce the time constant, discharge time constant, once it is discharged, to reduce the time constant, when the discharge through the diode, so discharging through the diode resist RD is very high. In that case, this voltage is less than that of this voltage. Then the diode will be forward bias. Then it will be connected to the measuring circuit is connected to the our high voltage terminal. Understood? But due to this isolation of capacitor CS, it is no longer follows the supply voltage across the capacitor C2, and hence the charge resistor RD is connected to the connected to overcome this problem such that RD into CS is approximately equal to 1 second. Okay, here more than 1 second, that can be reduced to 1 second. So then due to this discharging resistance RD, there will be discharge error produced as capacitor CS. Due to this use of discharge resistance RD, there will be discharge error produced as capacitor CS, and C2 will be keep discharging even if the input voltage across voltage is constant. Due to this discharge resistance RD, This is called a discharge resistance RD. There will be a discharge error produced in capacitor CS and C2. Will keep discharging even if the input voltage is constant. So that is the problem, error. Okay. And the second error is due to the ripple content of the voltage across the storage capacitor CS. So the ripple content across the capacitor CS. So because of ripple content means the high peak voltage appear across this because of the diode driven reverse bias, and then it will be isolated. Okay, that is the error. Second error is due to the ripple content of the voltage across the storage capacitor CS, which depends on the supply frequency. And next, third one, the third error is the recharge error. Recharge error when diode is forward biased. The storage capacitor must be charged to a peak value, but due to discharge resistance, some drop in voltage occurs. Okay, because of due to discharge resistance, some voltage drop occurs. This problem can be addressed by using high biasing resistor across capacitor C2, and also keeping the value of capacitor CS is less than that of the capacitor CF. So the this is called I resistance, biasing resistance is connected. Okay, so that so CS is less than that of the C2. Understood? Then only the CS is less than that of the capacitance C2. If C2 is higher, then only the circuit, the diode is forward biased, and then the measuring equipment is connected into the circuit. If C is higher, the measuring circuit is isolated. So that is the problem we are facing because of peaks, ripples in capacitor. So that can be avoided. So by using high biasing resistance and also equalizing circuit. By using equalizing circuits, it can be avoided. Okay. A modification in the method that minimizes the error is use the equalizing circuit shown in the left side of the measuring branch. Okay. Summary. Digital peak voltmeter works on the principle of converting the rectified AC charging current into a frequency, then enabling the counter using the gate circuit. Okay, the gate circuit is synchronized with power supply frequency. Okay, this is the first one. And second one, digital measurements are costlier and requires electromagnetic compatibility with a strong electric field. Okay, this is the second one. Third one, final capacitance potential divider based peak reading voltmeter is a storage capacitor to measure peak AC voltages. Okay, however, the charging and the discharging errors needs additional modification. So this is about summary of this class. Digital peak voltmeters and potential divider.